Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Farthouse. I'm Ben,
I'm Leo.
And I'm James.
and Leo recommended a movie, so introduce it, buddy.
All right, so I recommended Belladonna of Sadness, which is a movie from Japanese land, and they make anime there, not animated movies. So we watched anime, but really we watched a bunch of still images and some moving images
Yeah,
and
it's 70s
lots
anime.
lots of narration.
Yeah, 70s anime. 70s through 90s.
You're so right, because this was basically the last episode of Evangelion. I don't think you've watched that, but that's what this movie
No.
reminded me of. It's
When did this come
literally
out?
Anime featured a lot of shows like in the 90s started getting animated better, but the features still were like this in the 90s.
yeah,
When did
that
this
makes
come out?
73.
73. And it's pretty short too.
Yeah.
Um, what did you guys think? What happens in it, Leo? What's the plot to this
What's the plot?
still image? Yeah, this narrated painting.
This narrated painting. So the plot of the narrate I actually really like that, by the way. That's a really good description, a narrative painting. Because I imagine this movie as a really big canvas and like it's just somebody in the
It's a
background.
long pan down the canvas.
Kind of, yeah. All right, but basically what the movie is about is girl girl gets married, girl gets raped, girl runs to husband and tells him I got raped, and then he like freaks out for some reason and like chokes the bitch, and then a little penis demon flirts with her and is like, I'm a little penis demon, I can give you powers, because obviously, and I don't. She like kind of rejects it, but kind of doesn't. I don't know. She laughs, so I think that's a sort of like exception of it. Like, you know what I mean? Like if you laugh,
Yeah.
you're kind of sort of joining in on the fun. So after that, she actually I already forgot what happened after that.
Hmm.
I know
She
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 kind of
leaves
just
her
she
town. She gets
curses the
like isolated for being a
she
whore, and she has
she
to
like
run away.
curses the town pretty much.
Yeah.
yeah.
Because the
Oh,
king is like, oh, she's too hot. Everyone wants to sleep with her. We gotta kill her. So
mhm.
she runs away and learns how to have really good sex. And then after
Yep.
she orgasms, she comes back to the town and helps everyone else to orgasm. Which, by the way, is the same plot as Deep Throat, which came out a year before.
Oh man.
I thought the penis demon kind of reminded me of the penis thing from South Park.
What penis thing from South Park?
Remember the singing penis in South Park?
Oh
Are you talking
yeah.
about Mr. Hanky?
No, 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 no. There's a episode of South Park where there's a penis on a little mouse and it starts singing. They have a
Oh,
duet.
okay. Um,
James, James really likes that scene.
I really
I
like you.
have. All right. I wrote in my notes. I said I was noting down like which scenes were because there were some animated scenes and the rest of it was just like still images that faded into the next one. And all
Yeah,
of the animated scenes were the rape scenes.
not all of them.
There were two rape scenes that were animated and one um regular sex scene that was animated, but all of the other scenes were faded.
No, the Black Death was
Yeah,
animated.
Black Death was animated.
That was part of her orgasm though.
I guess yeah, you're technically
When
correct
that happened,
because
it kind of reminded me of the scene in SpongeBob when they have to fight the all like the fleas in Sandy's tree dome.
Yeah, the
of course.
locust. What were you
That's
gonna
all I
say,
have to say
Leo?
about that.
I um well, I already forgot. James
Look what you
derailed me.
did.
That's what you get for talking about SpongeBob, James.
Okay.
Well, it's comparing them.
What did you get when I first saw the demon? Since the whole
Mhm.
movie's about how like it's a man's world and a woman can't orgasm. When the demon first showed up, I thought he was a tampon.
Really?
Yeah, he's like he has like a little trail that looks like the string, and his head is red, and the rest of him is white. I thought he was supposed to be a tampon.
I just thought it was a dildo.
He is a dildo, but at first he looked like a tampon.
Well,
And
he's
then the better she gets at sex, the bigger he gets.
yeah, and then he becomes a big penis demon.
Hmm. Um,
Who's your favorite character?
there were like four characters.
Yeah,
I could
basically.
sometimes I couldn't really like tell some of them apart. I couldn't like
Well, the
remember who
husband
was
and
who.
wife's names were Jean and Jean.
Yeah,
That's fucked up.
I
it's
don't think
like
that's
it's
fucked up.
like it's like a husband and wife being named Ben and Ben,
That's like Will Smith and Jada Smith kids being named Willow and Jada.
This is
like
not the
Leo and
first.
Leah, Leah and Leo,
Yeah,
or James and Jane,
James and Jamie.
or
Yeah. Anyway,
Travis
let's
and Travis.
why okay. um so what did you guys think of because when Tyler watched this should we talk about when
Tyler
Tyler
and
watched
Tyler.
this?
Yeah. Do you want to give context about who Tyler is, or no? No context.
No context. So
He's
Tyler
this guy
watched
who lives in a
this.
trailer.
Yeah. Um when Tyler watched this, he watched it without subtitles
Yep.
and he didn't understand what was going on and he gave it a really low rating and said it was sexist.
Yeah, he did call it sexist.
Why do you call it sexist?
Because he didn't have the context to what was happening. He just saw a bunch of rape
He,
scenes.
he just thought it was rape.
Yeah, which is the opposite of what it means.
I'm gonna be
Um,
honest. I felt really sad at the end because they didn't really
really?
get what they wanted. Yeah,
Why not? Yeah, they
because the
did.
Lord won. The Lord won.
But the husband turned green.
Yeah, he turned green, bro.
What does that mean?
When he so she gets the first time she gets raped, she goes and like runs to the husband and he starts like groping her and he turns green because he's getting aroused and that's like his sexual color. Hers is purple,
Uh-huh.
by the way. And then he stays regular for the rest of the movie and then at the end when he gives her an orgasm, he turns green, which I guess symbolizes that he got sexual pleasure from giving her sexual pleasure, so it's not one-sided anymore.
Yeah, but they both die.
Yeah, but they died during orgasm, so it's kind of awesome.
But the king doesn't die.
No,
He was evil. He
because
should have died.
if the king died, then we would live in a better world. But we live in the same world as we did. There's the commentary.
It's not like if something happens
I
in a
like happy
movie,
endings. It wasn't a happy ending to me.
No, it wasn't a happy ending.
if a bad ending happens, that doesn't mean that's like the moral of the story.
No, that's not what I was saying.
No. I know that's not what you were saying.
Uh,
I feel like that's more of James' perspective.
I
Like
wish
he
it
make
was more
like when
meaningful.
the like when they were doing test screenings for Joan of Arc and people in the test screening said she shouldn't die at the end.
I wish it
tragic.
was more like Moondog.
Moondog.
And she floats away into the sunset.
I have I didn't really understand the green part and the color part, but now that makes a little bit more sense.
Well,
Yeah.
isn't green like envy though?
No. Have you ever seen Love on a Leash?
Yeah, have you ever seen my
Oh,
Me and
cosplay?
James watched Love on a Leash, and we can confirm through a
I
little bit of
can't.
research that green in a lot of Asian countries is the horny color. In America, the horny color is red, but it's green in a lot of Asian countries. I don't know if that applies to Japan, but it seems
I'm pretty
like in
sure
the
it's brown.
context
I'm
of
pretty
this
sure it's
movie,
brown in Japan.
is it really?
No.
Okay. Well, in the
Well,
It'd be
context of
funny
this
if a
movie, it
horny
seemed
color is
like
a poo color.
green was mostly his color for pleasure, and hers was
hmm
purple. And there was the one guy who worked for the king who ended up having an orgasm at the end. I think his color was like blue. So
Was that the
everyone
guy who
had their
got
own color.
stabbed?
Yes. Who also died mid-orgasm, which
Tragic.
is takes place in the Middle Ages, probably about chastity and your vows of chastity being Catholic.
Hold
Well,
on, guys.
what would you guys say? Was this a thinker?
Um, I guess. I don't know. It's such a bad question. It
It's a tradition.
is a tradition. It's
It's a
just not
fart
a good
house.
one.
But
I
most
guess it was a
important,
thinker.
was this art
Yeah.
or fart?
Oh, I'd say it's art, although I don't think super highly of it. It is art. It's not fart.
This,
Yeah.
I feel like it's like a good kind of idea, I guess. You can like do something with it. I just feel like this, you know, it's unfinished. It feels unfinished.
Well, I don't know about that
Why do you think it feels
because
unfinished?
this is what a lot of features were like. Anime
Well,
features.
I'm just saying to me it feels unfinished. Like it just doesn't feel like a
Yeah, but like
finished thing.
why?
Why?
Yeah.
It just like well, first of all, every frame like I see like you adding more, but I guess that's like Ben said that's the style, but I don't care for that style, I guess. I like big extravagant things. I like
But
fluent
thematically,
animation.
what do you think thematically? I think it's finished. I think he got his point across and he did pretty much everything you can do with this concept in this setting. Um, it wasn't super well animated, but none of the films at the time really were. So, uh,
Unless like you're Disney.
yeah, but that's America. And America had lots of animation going on,
Mm-hmm.
and Japan had lots of very slow animation. Perfect Blue is animated like this.
I haven't seen
Um,
that yet.
yeah, well, pretty much every anime feature you watch from like whenever anime started up until like the mid 90s was animated like this.
Mm-hmm. Well, that
Although
is
I
they,
good
really
though.
like the simplicity
yeah,
of the animation.
I
You
like
like
the art
it?
style a lot. I think with the simplicity of the animation is because they can put more focus on the style of
The
it because they were
yeah,
they were really stylized back then. And
yeah.
then as you move into the modern stuff, it's really well animated, but it all has a similar style.
The
Yeah.
watercolors, I thought the
Yeah,
watercolors were probably my favorite part of it.
yeah, it looked
Yeah,
really nice.
watercolor is hard to animate.
Yeah. Um, yeah.
Would you recommend this to people?
It
Yeah,
depends on
I
the
think so.
person. I would recommend it to
So
Tyler.
yeah,
So I would
definitely.
tell him to
I would
rewatch it
definitely
with
not
subtitles.
recommend it to Alyssa, my
Did you watch it with
ADHD.
her?
No, I watched it by myself.
Oh, okay.
I would definitely not recommend it to Alyssa, my ADHD husband.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd tell Tyler to watch it again, but with subtitles.
I would not
Um,
recommend it to Oswald.
I would. I would watch
I
it with
would.
Oswald. I would love that.
He
Yeah,
would turn
same.
it off and change the movie.
I
Okay,
would.
well, I would keep the remote hidden. I would
Put
hide
it
it up
up
my
your butt.
ass.
Yeah, it's just like the movie. You got to go dig it in order to get what you want.
hmm And in the end, we all orgasm and die.
Mhm.
It's like from South Park. You shit and you die,
It's
but a
like
little bit
life,
better.
bro.
Yeah, it's just like life. The real orgasm is the friends we made along the way. Thoughts? Prayers?
I'm trying to. I'm trying to think of some thoughts I have. Some final thoughts.
Who was your favorite looking character?
I think
Probably the devil.
Jean or Jean, whichever the main character was, she
Jeanne?
had the most detail. I liked her design because her hair was part of the page too, which was interesting. Um, have you guys seen many? Have you guys seen any films from the golden age, like the '70s American porn?
Nope.
No.
Okay. Well,
Not
I
except
kept.
only the ones you've shown me.
Okay, yeah. Well, none of those are in here, but I kept seeing like I kept seeing things like the similarities to Deep Throat, and there were a lot of similarities to what is it, Behind the Green Door, and I kept writing down like those both of those movies came out a year before this. I feel like it's definitely inspired by the sexual revolution that was going on in America.
For sure.
I like your response to that, James. Sure. It's
I said
no,
for sure.
Yeah.
oh, my bad. But I
Oh, you don't
actually
like
think
it anymore?
I think you're actually right, Ben. Because
Yeah.
like
Oh,
I'm pretty sure whoever I'm pretty well whoever was making this was like pretty influenced
Horny.
by American culture and yeah,
Uh,
horny. Yeah. Well,
I
yeah.
could
well,
just
a
like
really
see them like
significant
drawing with
thing in
like a
American culture in
boner
the
under the
in
desk the whole
70s
time.
film was sex. Because 1972, we got Deep Throat, Boys in the Sand, Behind the Green Door, Pink Flamingos, and I think the opening of Misty Beethoven, all in the same year, which is a whole
Don't
lot.
forget, don't forget the wall.
Was that
Oh
1972?
no.
70s.
Uh,
All the same.
yeah. I liked it. I think when I when I finished it, I wasn't as into it, but I think the more days that have passed, I think I like it more than what I rated it. I rated it a 3, but maybe I could push that up a little bit.
Yeah, I'm feeling like 2.5, and then if I rewatched it, probably just a 3.
Yeah,
I gave it 4.
Wow.
yeah.
Yeah.
But James, did you like the I know you very well, so I'm just gonna say this. So you remember the scene when like a bunch of random like black and white animations just happening?
Yeah. Is
Orgasm.
that the Black Death one?
Yeah, that was the Black Death. The colorful one was when she first orgasms, and it fades into Black Death.
Well, do you just
Yeah.
remember when like bunnies were coming out of butts and like
Yeah.
people were yeah, did you like that part?
That that part made me laugh.
It was all
I
fetishes. That's the scene where the shot from Behind the Green Door shows up.
okay.
There's like another part. There's like something like going into a snail shell or something.
Yeah, there is a lot.
Yeah,
That's why I want to rewatch it because
I
there's a
also
lot of
really
fun.
like the soundtrack too.
the soundtrack
Oh,
is really good.
I actually knew the soundtrack before I knew the movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
The opening song is great. I wrote that in my notes too. I think the first note I wrote down was, "This song is awesome."
I like the opening song. I also like one of the songs like close to the end. It was very Pink Floyd-esque.
It
Yeah.
gets really the soundtrack gets like really bombastic at the end and like all over the place. And in the beginning, it starts off more traditionally.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It sounds like a Goblin soundtrack. If you've ever
Yeah,
watched Syria.
Suspiria. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, good
I don't know
stuff.
why, but I was
Also
thinking about Smeagol
70s.
the game.
That's a
Well,
Gollum.
Bah,
well,
bah, 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 bah.
this movie's super 70s.
Yeah, it
Like,
is.
Yeah.
well, very early 70s.
So 73, yeah. Yeah, it does feel really 70s. Pretty much the second the opening song starts, you could place the decade without even checking.
I feel like even the like opening credits with like the intros are super 70s.
Yeah, yeah. Well, there's a lot to like about the movie. but it is
Flawed.
boring.
I think one of the biggest flaws, is that they don't speak English.
Yeah, James, that's your biggest flaw.
Wait, cut that.
Cut that. Cut that. Play the
um,
clip. Play the clip.
yeah, I liked a lot about it, but I think I was bored for like 75% of it.
It
But
definitely
I
does
think
get boring.
rewatching it, if I rewatched it, it might go along faster because I know what it's getting to. But I was
Yeah.
bored at first.
You definitely have to be in a certain mood to watch it.
Yeah,
I
I
agree.
think about 70% of the time I would not be able to watch it in one sitting.
yeah, I liked it, but I think I would like it more on rewatch. I gave it a 3, but it'll probably go up at some point. What did you guys give it, or did you say?
2.5.
I said 4.
All right, all right. That's. Do we have any closing remarks?
Was this art or fart?
This
It
was
was
art.
art. It was art.
Pure
Regardless of
art.
how far I felt during it, it was art.
All right, Ben. It's your recommendation.
It is my recommendation. And
Wait, we're
since
watching the same movie again?
yeah, I'm recommending Belladonna of Sadness from
Oh
1973.
shit, we just watched this.
I'm recommending Joe Dirt 2.
All right, my recommendation, since it's now Halloween season, I figured I would recommend something really cool. It's a movie from 2004 called Catwoman, starring Halle Berry.
Why?
It's very,
Wait,
very
Leo, have you seen
cool.
it?
Yeah, I watched it when I was a little kid and I didn't like it. It made me uncomfortable.
I
So
don't
get
know. I
ready to
don't
be
remember if I've seen it
uncomfortable
or
once
not.
again because we're watching Catwoman next week,
Starring Halle Berry.
starring
Yay.
Halle Berry, directed by Pitoff. That's
Oh
his
yeah.
only name.
Yeah, great name.